Hi everyone, today we are gonna cook hot plate pepper rice for lunch. This is a concept that the young people and kids really love, but how many of you have ever thought of making it at home? So today I'm gonna show you how to make it. You'll find that it's very easy lah. So the most important ingredient is the rice, and today we're gonna be using this Shokaku brand US Kelrose rice. This is a premium rice and it's musenmai, which means that it's been processed in such a way that you don't even need to wash it. So it's very easy to cook. In case you don't know what is the difference between a medium grain rice and a long grain rice, we usually eat long grain, but of late, because of the Japanese, Korean and Taiwanese cuisine, this short grain rice or medium grain rice is getting more and more popular. This rice is growing in the US, and the US farmers are very innovative and they've been progressing using less land resources and using less water to grow the rice. Put in 2 cups of rice. Okay, and then you add the water to the mug. But if you have a bit of time, leave the rice to soak for an hour before you cook, and that will improve the texture and the fragrance of the rice. Normally when you prepare rice, what you want to do is to wash it well so you can get rid of the outer layer of the bran that is still coating the rice. But because this is musenmai rice, it has already been processed so that the layer of bran has been removed. So all you need to do is put it in, add water, pop it into the rice cooker. Another major ingredient in this recipe is the pepper. So in order to do that, we need 2 different kinds of peppers. We want to mix black and white pepper together. The white pepper will give it that peppery zing, you know, whereas the black pepper will give it more fragrance. So we're going to add both of them to a pot like this and just gently toast it until you hear a little pop, pop, pop. You know it's ready. See the way the peppers start to bounce and thing? This is when you turn down the heat and we're ready. Alright, so we take the pepper and put it into our little crucible. So all we do, we just grind the pepper and then and all that fragrance is released. Now I'm using a Sarawak peppercorn. When you actually grind your own peppers, you can actually know the quality of the peppercorn, right? So I'm going to prepare some shiitake mushroom to the dish. It goes really well with beef. For shiitake mushrooms, here's a little tip for you. If you put the mushroom into the hot plate this way, it's going to be very hard for it to actually stay in the plate nicely. So what we're going to do is just going to put the mushrooms in the microwave for a minute and I'll show you what happens. So 1 minute in the microwave and the mushroom is nice and soft. It will stay nicely in the pot. When you stir it, it will be easier to cook it. So managed to find this really nice white corn. They call it sweet pearl corn. And these are really very sweet. So I'm going to add some of this and some of the yellow corn, which is iconic for this dish, right? I'm going to add some greens to our dish as well. I got some kailan. You know, kailan goes well with beef, right? Beef and kailan. So next we're gonna do the sauce. So many ways of grinding or making a puree out of garlic and onion. I'm using this instrument, which I find very easy to use. But if you don't have this, of course you can use your knife to chop it. You can use a food processor. And now the garlic. Get the garlic and the onion puree. We also want to puree this Korean pear. Now, any kind of fruit will be good for marinating meats because the fruit has got enzymes that will help to tenderize the meat. So we only need about half a pear. I'm going to show you my own yakiniku sauce, which I think is a little bit more complex, a little bit more interesting. I'm going to turn on my pot and I'm going to gently toast the lemon so that it caramelizes. So once it's nice and caramelized, we add in the sake. This is just half a cup of sake, followed by half a cup of mirin. And now we just allow the mirin and sake to come to a boil. While it's boiling off the alcohol, we can add the sugar as well. This is half a cup of raw sugar. So the mirin, sake and sugar has already reduced by a little bit. And we're gonna add the soyu. Make sure you buy Japanese or Korean soy sauce because they're a little bit different. The color will be different, the fragrance and the salt level is different as well. So for this recipe, I'm using a Japanese soy sauce. We also need to put in our onion and garlic puree. We're gonna add in some sesame oil, just a teaspoon sesame oil to give it a nutty fragrance. Okay, just add in a bit of chicken stock powder. This is optional. For those of you who don't want it, you can omit it, but it gives it the extra umami punch. Once the sauce is cooled down, we add the pear puree. Because if you add it in when the sauce is hot, you will kill all the enzymes. And the sauce is basically ready for your hot plate rice. So the star of our show today, the rice is cooked. It's ready. All my ingredients are ready. So now I'm gonna show you how I assemble the hot plate rice. Okay, so the pan is hot. Put in some oil and just a very thin layer. So first of all, we get the rice. I'm gonna put the rice there. You can hear a bit of a sizzle already. Okay, right in the center there. This is where the secret ingredient goes in. Make a little dent in the middle. Add in the pepper. Okay, there's a lot of pepper here, depending on how hot you want it. There's a bit of pepper. Okay, then we need the butter. Just hide the butter here, right in the middle there. As you heat up the rice later on, the butter is gonna melt, and then it's gonna carry the pepper down. The butter's gonna go to the bottom, and then the rice is gonna start really crisping up. I'm gonna put some corn in one corner here. Put in the shiitake mushroom in one corner here. We're gonna have a bit of green, the kailan at this corner here. Onions. So we're gonna put the green onions right on top of the rice here like this. Okay, and then of course on top of that goes the corn. Okay, and finally we got the beef. The beauty of this dish is you want bits of the beef nice and caramelized, whereas the other parts of the beef are still a bit raw. So you want to just sort of like twirl it a little bit. My hot plate rice all ready to go. So you can do this ahead of time, and when people are all gathered around the table, then you just bring it onto the table and then you turn on the heat and everybody will have fun cooking and then sharing the meal together. You hear the sizzle? You need to let it sizzle for a while. So remember, we have that secret little bit of pepper and butter. So now you can imagine the butter is starting to melt. Okay, it's important for you to allow the beef to really crisp on one side. I noticed that when you're eating at the restaurant, right, one of the nice things is that the beef is really crisp on one side but barely cooked on the other side. So you want to leave it for a while. We're going to add our secret sauce which I cooked earlier on. Okay, all this while the rice, right, is developing that nice beautiful crust at the bottom. Okay, I think it's almost time. Okay, I can feel the crust underneath the rice all formed. Okay, so it's almost done. I'm going to turn off the heat. Alright, remember the pan is still going to be hot for a while, so you're still getting the crust forming at the bottom. This is what people want to eat. You scrape this off. Again, oh, that rice really is the star of this dish, because everybody will go for that nice crispy bits of rice right at the bottom. Oh, so nice. Chewy, plump, and every now and again you get that bit where is the crust. And then that sauce really blends everything together. Do try it at home and see if your family can't stop talking about it. Until next time, happy cooking.